Hey there YouTube, this is Wheelchair21, and on today's Rolling Review we have Robot Damashii Shining Gundam from G Gundam, which is a most recent release out of the Damashii line, and you would think it would have came a lot sooner, seeing that we got Burning Gundam and Master Gundam so soon. Yeah, they like to go out of order. I've learned with Robot Damashiis, they go with the later half series Gundams first, rather than the starting Gundams for our titular characters or our protagonists. And, honestly, this is something I've really wanted. I've wanted a new, updated version of the Shining Gundam, as an action figure, or at least a collector's figure, to have on display in my room somewhere, where it can actually have a high feature of articulation and detail, so I can recreate certain scenes, such as the awesome thing, which is his finishing move, the Shining Finger. Honestly, with the wide range of articulation, it can pretty much do almost any pose it had in the damn show, which is pretty damn cool, pretty damn awesome. And let's go and see what actually is in this box, such as what accessories it contains. First off, when removing your figure from box, one sees that it comes with a plethora of accessories, 2 variations of beam sabers, 2 variations of beam saber handles, as well as 4 pairs of additional hands, with 2 of them being the actual Shining Finger effect for both right and left hands, even though it was more commonly used only on the right. It also is featured in its super mode in package rather than its base mode, obviously because, well, it has thrusters jetting out all over its body, as well as its spare head for normal mode. I guess leg panels. I don't know really what you would call them. Calf panels, maybe. I don't know. And its core fighter, which actually doesn't plug in like the old MSIA, so you don't get a full-on core fighter. It just plugs into the back, creating its thruster jet. So, yeah, that's kind of all you got for accessory count, but it's quite good. It's pretty basic. Expected a little more, but I'll show you why I'm saying expected a little more, especially with the core fighter, when we get further into our review. Alright, starting off our review for Robot Damashii Shining Gundam, we have to first showcase the little thruster pack, which was at one time a core fighter. Yes, in the show, this was actually a core fighter that would latch on and attach to the back of the mobile suit. However, it does not have that feature whatsoever in the backpack. It is just a basic clip-on that most Damashiis have, where it just plugs into the back of our mobile suit as so, and latches in real nice and snug. Actually, it can be a pain in the ass sometimes to actually pull out, but once it's in there, it usually stays in your damn mobile suit. Now, the Shining Gundam of Neo Japan, honestly, has a nice white, blue, red finish that is, the basic color motif for all Gundams, and it actually has a really nice samurai-like design. Honestly, it's one of my more favorite mobile suits in Gundam, whether it be throughout the whole franchise. And it's honestly one of my favorite suits from the damn show, because it is the protagonist's mobile suit. Now, throughout the mecha's design, the red and blue actually clash either well with each other, on top of each other, next to each other, or just in specific areas throughout the mobile suit. Its actual range of articulation does vary, because the legs can pretty much go all the way around. It has full humane functions. It can have a double jointed knee. It actually has joints in its toes. The toes do actually move and sway. It's one of the better parts about this mobile suit. There is some sway here. It has the ability to bend. I think the heel can bend. No, the heel does not bend. But it does have a wide range to move its foot around on, which is very, very uncommon, I believe, in other Robot Damashiis that I currently own. Its war gown, I guess its waist gown, all pieces do move except the back, so you do got some sway there with all the pieces, so it can become a garbled mess. The shoulders, the pads actually move a bit because it's built into the joint itself. The arms do come up. It does have, I believe, a single jointed elbow. No, it has full double jointed elbow, but the shoulder pads do hinder it actually to move and actually showcase its double jointed ability. Ab joint, not really much there. I don't think it can really do a full S range like the model kit can, but there is some give to it. And the head basic 360. And don't forget, if a mobile fighter loses their head, they're out of the contest. But don't forget, Domon was the one who liked to take heads in our show. Honestly, in basic normal mode, you have a few basic functions, really. You have it looking like this. It looks like this throughout the show. Its gauntlets actually shoot beam weapons. Its torso and heads have Vulcans built into it. And on the side, it actually has 2 beam saber katanas. The cool thing about these katanas are, unlike earlier releases in the model kit line or in MSIA lines, the swords just plug in here, but this time there's a nice little notch that's actually well ingrained into the sabers to make sure they stay put and you don't lose them. I think this is one of the best added features to the Robot Damashii to keep the swords in place when using the mobile suit on display. I also feel that when transforming it in between super mode, they've fixed a lot of the issues that the toys and model kits have had over the few years that they've released variations for this character. What I'm saying is, in earlier versions, you actually just pulled out the thruster, or you pulled up the gauntlets and the shoulders, and they had a lot of wiggle to them. They were very loose. They were very much on hinge joints. Where in this variation, you actually have to remove the piece, and it reveals notches. Once you, in a sense, remove the piece, under it, you actually pull down parts to replace and plug in your pieces to recreate the super mode, which you automatically saw at the beginning of the review because that's what they decided to package this mobile suit as. So I'm going to take the time to return it to super mode and showcase the Shining Finger ability, because when it used Shining Finger, that's when super mode activated. When it used its finishing move maneuver, it went into super mode, which was actually the highlight of an episode, honestly, for me, especially when the OST played called Shining Finger. Now, as one can obviously see, Shining Gundam's hand shines with an awesome power, and its loud roar tells me that it's evaluation time. This Robot Damashii is something that I've waited for a long time. I've wanted a new alliteration of the Shining Gundam for ages, since I've had my Hyper mode Shining Gundam as a kid growing up. I didn't want to get the model kit really right away. I wanted an actual figure, just something that I could have, that I don't have to build, that I could just put on display. Because I love super mode. I love the regular normal mode. It's just something that I've always liked as a kid. It's even become my more favorite of the two Gundams in the past 5 to 6 years. Because I was a huge fan of Burning Gundam. Now I'm a super huge fan of the Shining Gundam again. And I mean, I love Neo Japan. I love Domon Kashu. I love Jigen Hao. I love the Undefeated of the East, Master Asia. I'm a huge G Gundam guy. I mean, I love a lot of Gundams, but G Gundam just stands out because it's just different for me. I like it. I even like SD Gundam. I like the different shows, even though I'm a huge supporter of, sadly, Universal Century. I'm not one of those guys that like Seed or Wing. I actually like 00. It's like my second favorite thing next to Universal Century. But anyways, that's neither here or there. The Shining Gundam Robot Damashii pretty much gives you everything the MSIA could have back in the day, HCM Pro if there was one, and even the model kit. It actually has a better, well-endowed structure. I mean, if you have this is super detailed. This is highly detailed. This looks like it literally jumped right out of the series at you, and it actually has a more well-structured manner to go between the two modes. It's more tedious, yes, by having to pull out the little plugs to attach your panels into the mobile suit, but they stay in there well firm. They don't slide, they don't slouch, they don't go back into place like earlier versions. The fact that it can also hold its beam saber is a plus. The beam saber not being able to be stored back in the day was a pain in my ass because I almost used to lose the saber activators all the time. So I would always only have just beams and no saber. The beam sabers themselves are not that cool. I kind of am pissed there is no Shining Finger sword effect piece. I would love to have a Shining Finger sword. All you really need is just a giant beam spiral thing of green massive energy. But I guess they didn't want to do that since I think they released an earlier version of the Shining Finger sword when they released the original Figuarts Domo and Kashu. So maybe if someone has that lying around, you can put it with this figure. Another friend of mine made a little joking snap that neither beam sabers come with the actual Mobile Fighter G Gundam on the blade, which is supposedly shit screen accurate to him, even though it only appears in the opening credits. So, to him, he thinks this is a loss. To me, I'm like, who cares? The beam sabers are crap, unless it came with the Shining Finger sword. It does everything it needs to do. It has everything it needs to be. It's the goddamn Shining Gundam. What else do you need from it? Do you want it to also, like, somehow evolve into Burning Gundam, which it couldn't do in the show? I guess that's what some people want. I don't know. I don't care. I enjoy it. I know G Gundam isn't well received at times by fans, or it is really loved because it's just utterly different and batshit insane. I got this at Ami Ami, however, you can find it over at Hobby Link Japan, probably Entertainment Earth because Bluefin Tamashii's bringing it over, probably on Amazon and other websites that sell robot spirits. This is a Tamashii Nations product, so if it's a Bluefin distributor in America, you probably have good chances at getting this figure. You will not regret it if you love Shining Gundam, if you love G Gundam. I mean, you can find this review here on my YouTube channel or over at herotaku.com because, you know, heroes are among you. You can follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram to see future spoilers to upcoming reviews and or, you know, just hauls, unboxings. Maybe if I have something that I haven't reviewed here on my channel, people can comment, see what I got, and I'll maybe do it. I do take requests. I haven't taken requests in years because nobody's asked me to do anything. But anyways, I'll see you next time with another rolling review. This has been Wheelchair21 with the Robot Damashii Shining Gundam GF13-017 New Japan. Not New Japan, Neo Japan. And we'll see you next time with another review.